the best start to a podcast. It's just going like, well, we don't fucking know how to start this podcast. We just have no idea what's going on, really.
Okay, I started.
You started? Awesome.
Okay. Well, I'm
glad we were talking about it beforehand.
I'm glad we spent so much time talking about how to start the podcast that could have been like an entertaining podcast.
I exhausted the conversation, and we'll there it goes. All right.
Yeah, there it is.
Now we gotta claw our way up.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I still think that it would be good to do the ChatGPT thing.
Do you want to read that? Okay. So to preface it, okay, it's not. It's so. It makes my body fully cringe.
Dipped within multiple layers of irony. It's
yeah.
Okay. All right. So the ChatGPT prompt.
No, you have to explain where the prompt is coming from.
The prompt is coming from, I typed into ChatGPT, can you write me a blurb for my podcast about white people where we form a parasocial relationship with our audience so they can feel at peace while gaming for an hour a week? Is that too controversial?
Is that too controversial? I don't think it's controversial. I think it's just...
In what way would it be controversial?
Yeah, I think that's just the exact description of what this is.
Okay, so anyway, so the name that that ChatGPT came up with was White People Gaming.
Let's go.
So,
we're not playing games.
Yeah, right. I had to clarify that we're not actually gaming, but so I had to do a revision, but it said, "Welcome to White People Gaming, the podcast where three white people come together to talk about all things gaming, from the latest releases to retro classics." So then I had to specify that we're not actually gaming. It's just so that like the audience can play games.
We're here for the white people that are gaming.
Yeah. We are white people who play games, but not in this instance.
That's merely a coincidence. Right, it's to make us relatable to the audience. It's to start helping build up the parasocial relationship.
Yeah. It just happens that you cross the street at the same time, drop the pencil in class.
Trust us, dear viewer. We are all playing games with you.
Yeah, I'm informed.
Gaming right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always gaming.
Always gaming.
But I also really like the whether you're battling demons in hell or exploring distant galaxies, we're here to keep you company, chat about random topics, and help you unwind. It's like a bad video game editor, right? Like sat down and wrote an article about how to relate to kids and gaming.
No, dude, it's the podcast intro for people who shouldn't be making a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, they gave like $100,000 like a 35-year-old dude that played Atari 20 years ago. Oh god, Atari's a lot older than that now, isn't it?
Probably
like 40 years old.
I mean, how? Oh god, I'll look it up.
This is like how an IGN podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like they gave it to someone who's so out of touch with gaming, and like their only interaction with it is like to judge it instead of to like engage with it. And then they're like, okay, what do the kids do these days? Well, I know Doom, battle demons in hell. Oh yeah, that No Man's Sky game I wrote an article about where you explore distant galaxies. And I mean, you know, what's a bigger distance than demons in hell and exploring distant galaxies? So
I mean, technically,
which also is in Doom.
Yeah, in Doom, hell is on Mars.
Yeah, I don't know if I got that far in Doom.
The Eternal or
the first, the first remake from 2016.
It's also in that one. That one describes that Mars has a hell portal in it.
I'm pretty sure you start on Mars in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
That whole game takes place on Mars.
So how did you not get that far?
I don't know how much of Doom I played. Maybe like 5 hours. I don't know, but so I think I did get that far, but I don't. Who plays Doom for the plot? Oh, yeah.
Just never realized you were on Mars.
I mean, I just assumed it was like an alien planet that also looked like Mars, because like the game was made in like the 80s or something before they knew how to be creative.
You said you played the remake.
Yeah, I did, but I knew it was a remake, so I was aware of the fact that it was probably just put on Mars as like alien planet that looks like Mars.
So you did know it was on Mars.
No, okay, so the more I thought about it, the more I realized I knew it was on Mars, but
okay, so
but like
subconsciously,
before that, it was like I thought it was just because they didn't know what like alien planets would look like, so they just made it Mars because like in the 80s that's when Mars was like aliens, like Martians, you know. So
Well, I'm still lost because it was Mars in the original too. It's always been Mars.
Yeah.
So that's the original game was made. I don't know, in the 80s. I don't know. I'm totally making that up. It could have been made way sooner or later than that. Let's see. When did it come out?
1993. So the 90s.
Yeah. Well, in the 90s, they still thought aliens came from Mars. So
Jeez.
I don't know.
You know, you were born in the 90s. I'll take your word.
Yeah, I'm a 90s kid. It's true. Hello, my fellow white 90s kids.
Yeah, you want a medal, buddy?
Yeah, I do want a medal.
Decrepit looking ass.
Yeah.
I grew up with the Rugrats and SpongeBob and skateboards.
I don't understand why. I feel like late 90s kids very divisively draw a line between late 90s and early 2000s, even though it's the same generation.
Yeah.
Because my brother does that because he was born 1998 and I was born 2001. And for some reason he gatekeeps all the shit we both grew up with. Like the what is it? The original Pokemon? Well, what were those games? The Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire.
Wait, you mean like they're like Red and Blue?
Gen 3?
No, yeah, Gen 3. Yeah, not Red and Blue.
How do you
no,
gatekeep Gen 3?
Well, because he was like, oh, that's, you know, those were my games, and then you had Diamond and Sapphire, and we didn't own like a DS growing up, so I only played those games.
Wait, so...
Also, I should say Ruby and Sapphire came out in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So what the?
Well, because I mean, if it's not like he's gonna be 2 years old grabbing a Game Boy, right? Like
I get, but still, that's such like a non-difference in time. What the hell?
Yeah, well, it's what are you gonna do? I think it's because I don't know.
Gotta back up your honor as a 90s kid. It's such a title.
You gotta back up your honor as a 90s kid.
Only 90s kids will remember.
I didn't realize that Emerald and Ruby came out before Fire Red and Leaf Green, because I played Fire Red and Leaf Green first when I was like 4 years old. And then I got like Ruby and Sapphire after, and like Crystal and all those other games after. So I thought they were like newer. I knew Crystal was older, obviously, but like to me it was newer. And so I never realized that like Ruby and Sapphire were actually before Fire Red Leaf Green until like I don't know, I was like Googling cheats or something.
Do you know that apparently there's a pair of Jordans, Air Jordans, called the Fire Red? Because I Googled Fire Red release to see the dates, and I got a pair of Air Jordans.
Do they look good?
Yeah, are they drippy?
They're, you know, like those, what are they? The notebooks that you get in high school that are like black binding, kind of on the side, yeah, with like the black and white. So it has like a trim of that all the way around, and then it's a pure white shoe with like some red stuff. It's okay. It's fine.
Wait, can you just post a picture of it?
Yeah, I could just post a picture of it. It's like, if I saw someone wearing these, I would think, man, those sure are shoes.
Those sure are shoes. How much are they?
How much are they? I don't know.
They look to me like the kind of shoes that like the cool kid would get, and then he'd beat
like
me up.
$300 to $400.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's one of the, like,
shoes are whack.
Shoes are whack.
Well, because people collect shoes, and I respect people who collect shoes because it's, you know, whatever hobbies you want to do. But like, Jesus Christ, some shoes are.
But people collect Funko Pops, and those are $20.
Yo, did you see they threw out $30 million worth of Funko Pops the other day?
No.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't read that far. I just saw the article and said that's funny.
They fucking did the Atari ET. Buried it in a landfill.
Well, they also who owns Funko? Because if it's Hasbro also threw out a whole bunch of Magic the Gathering cards too.
I actually don't know.
Like multiple millions of dollars of Magic cards, like the Unset, and I don't know, just like product that no one actually wants because it was bad.
Funko Acquisition Holdings.
Okay.
Is the company.
Okay, so it's just Funko then. I mean, like, it's just useless plastic, right? It's like artificial. They're not gonna donate it because it's artificial scarcity. So they probably like, okay,
So
we're satisfied with this, and then threw out
So
it.
I want to say I looked it up. It's not 30 million. It's 250 million dollars
Oh
in
my god,
inventory
that's so much worse.
that they're throwing away because they want to. It's apparently no one fucking wants Funko Pops anymore,
mean-
except for I guess like collectors of Funko Pops. And so they're just like, we're gonna burn all of these to reduce costs.
They should just burn all the Funko Pops.
Dude, well, Funko Pops had like a very specific time and place where they like. I have 2 Funko Pops.
Yeah, I have 3 Funko Pops.
Apparently, there's supposed to be a Funko film.
Excuse me, like an emoji film.
Like, no.
Is it gonna be the Renaissance?
According to at least the Wikipedia page, there is a live-action animated hybrid film based on Funko toys in development at Warner Animation Group.
Making Fun: The Story of Funko is a movie that came out in 2018.
This one's apparently the writer for the screenplay has just recently been confirmed.
Oh, so this is a new movie. Okay.
Is this
or at least in 2021 they were confirmed.
Is this like
the screenwriter?
The Five Nights at Freddy's movie that's totally happening?
Well, they brought on.
So Funko is really cornering the market here.
On Funko Pops?
Yeah, on the Funko, like,
The
cinematic universe. In the year 2023, where they have burned $250 million worth of Funko Pops. Because no one cares.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so many stores, like especially in malls that you go to, and they all have like walls of Funko Pops. And like, how many times have you ever seen anyone actually like I've seen like dudes going with like a backpack and like stuff a bunch of them in their backpack to buy, but I don't think I've ever seen like normal people buying Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there are like ultra rare Funko Pops that within the Funko Pop collecting community have a lot of value.
I think it's also a thing of if you're not the type that is like directly picking ones for your collection, it's like older people, like relatives, just, oh, I know, like, my grandkid likes pop culture. I know nothing about it, so I'll just buy a Funko Pop, because they'll probably know what it is.
That's Droid 17 from Star Wars. It's a must-have.
My child mentioned Marvel once.
Also, I need to say the comment earlier about the Funkoverse. That is a product of theirs.
I mean,
that is their flagship game.
There's a game.
Wait, they have a game?
Yeah, Funkoverse.
Is that reminds me of Pop Tropica, just like in name alone. It's a board game.
It's
what? Why is it a board game?
The Funko Pops company was founded in 1998.
What? This is getting like more insane the more
peeling back the layers.
There's multiple versions of it. There's the Harry Potter version, there's the Space Jam version, there's the DC what? There's more. There's the Back to the Future version. Why? It keeps going. Why are there so many editions?
What do you think the most expensive edition is?
I couldn't even begin to think, honestly. Shop Funko Games.
Hold on, I have 15 most expensive Funko Pop figures in 2022.
Oh, awesome.
Before you, can I just say that there's a SpongeBob SquarePants puzzle Funko edition, and it's like Ditto but like Funko. Anyway, go on.
Okay. Well, guess the top 3.
Gonna guess 100K for the top one.
Oh, I didn't mean the price. I meant I meant the Funko Pop.
I have no clue.
I don't think you can get it. This is such a fucking weird number one most expensive.
I'm gonna guess some shit like some obscure ancient shit.
That's not entirely inaccurate, although
Yeah,
it might be sacrilege to call it obscure and ancient, but the number one selling Funko Pop, or at least right now, is a Clockwork Orange Funko Pop that's going for $2,600.
Yeah, that's obscure and ancient in the modern day.
honestly, that's not that expensive. That's
Okay,
that's the peak
dog,
of the Funko economy.
look
No
at a
wonder
Funko
no
Pop.
wonder we're in a downturn, man.
Look at a Funko Pop and imagine spending $2,600 fucking dollars
Dude,
for that piece of plastic.
Wait, 2,600. I
That's
didn't hear the
cheap.
number the first time.
I would spend $2,600 on the most
Sorry, it's
expensive Funko Pop.
26,000. I misspoke.
Oh, okay.
26. What?
Still, I think that's still cheap.
Yeah, so 26,000, and hold on, I'm gonna find Clockwork Orange Funko Pop. Yeah, let's look at images of this thing.
Okay, just think though, what hobbies do you guys have, and like how much money would you spend on the most thing? Like thinking
So
as
wait,
like
why?
as like a card game player, like I mean $26,000 is a lot, but like maybe I'm just like magic pilled, right? Where it's
Yeah,
like,
so can I tell you
Deeply
something?
magic build.
go ahead.
I found this Funko Pop Clockwork Orange right here. I think this is the one that they're talking about that's worth all the money. It's on eBay. It's a listing on eBay for $64. So,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know how accurate this fucking article is.
Well, what's the source? What is the article? Like who's it by?
This is from the Nasdaq.com.
I mean, well, there you go. What the hell is the
Wait,
Nasdaq know about
Clockwork
Funko
Orange
Pops?
Funkos were never released to the general market and were
Oh.
given to people considered at the time to be Funko VIP. What does that mean? What is a Funko VIP?
You had to have at least 100 unique Funko
As
Pops.
such, a rare and special Funko, this Clockwork Orange figure has only been for sale on eBay twice.
So it must not be the same one.
Oh, is
then.
it the one with the mask?
I think it's the one with the mask. I think
Okay.
it's specifically wearing the mask.
Okay.
It becomes expensive.
So
I'm noticing that the Halloween cereal mascots are worth a lot.
oh yeah, I think that those are like new because I noticed I had cereal for like the first time in like 3 months yesterday or a few days ago, and on the back of the box was like the Count Chocula and like all those guys as like Funko Pops, and I didn't know if it like you could get one for like putting in like box tops or what, but they exist.
Who the hell is Freddy Funko? I'm looking at this
The
list.
mascot, I imagine.
Is he just dressing up as all of these different characters? Is that what Funko
Yes.
Pops are?
my
is
God.
Freddy what? No, because only like specific ones are labeled Freddy Funko.
I mean, that's probably just the justification that after a certain point they were like, well, now this is just getting ridiculous. Freddy Funko can't possibly have dressed up as all of these things.
I think I'm looking through this list. Blueberry and
Yeah.
Count Chocula. Blueberry is like just normal ass Blueberry is expensive, but then the Count Chocula one and the Frankenberry one are only expensive if it's Freddy Funko dressing up as them.
Wait, so what?
Yeah, the Freddy Funko where he's dressing as Count Chocula is worth $10,000.
Oh my god.
And the one where he's Frankenberry is 6,400.
So okay, so I used to go to Comic-Con a lot, right? Because I'm in New York, and New York Comic-Con is like an hour from me. And so I've been like 4 or 5 times, I don't know, but every time like they always had these like huge booths for Funko, and the lines were always ridiculous. And you know, see, I always would look and be like, what the hell's going on over there? And they'd have like a little mini store, right? Like a pop-up store set up inside Comic-Con, where it was like you could get one, like you could only get one, not like one of each, like you could only pick one, and they'd have like multiple varieties. And so people would like wait online to buy like one Funko Pop from like a Comic-Con exclusive. So I'm guessing it's like that.
Oh, most of them are.
Yeah. So
I think all of the all of the cereal mascots one are exclusive to different Comic-Cons.
yeah, so I think that's where you lose me as like a collector of things. Like card games, I'll collect because like there's like value in that thing, but I'm not gonna buy Count Chocula to have him on my shelf for $20,000.
It's also explicitly that they like only made 12 of them.
Yeah, that's artificial. Like there's no, you're just making it rare. You're throwing out $250 million of product so that I can't have it.
So that you can't have your Boo-Berry
Like the
Funko Pop.
at least like I mean it's no different than like Nintendo and amiibos, right? When back in like 2016 when like Martha amiibos were like $400, but
Did they do limited release for amiibos?
I think it's, you know, just how like Nintendo loves to do artificial scarcity.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was that where it's like they released like certain amiibos were super rare because they released them, I think, either before amiibos got popular or just they hate people and didn't want to release a lot of them.
Oh, dude, you know what I remember that was super fucked up about amiibos was
Everything.
back when well yeah, but back when Shovel Knight was on Wii U, the only way you could play multiplayer Shovel Knight
Yeah.
was if you had the amiibo.
Yep.
And I fucking went to like I remember I was like 14 and I went to like 5 or 6 different stores and I couldn't find a single amiibo of the Shovel Knight and I just had to end up ordering it online.
Mhm.
For I think like $30, which is not how much that thing is worth. But
Really, we can blame this all on Skylanders, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean probably, right? Like I would
No, I would not be surprised if that's where it originated from,
Yeah.
especially with some Skylanders like Ghost Roaster, where they just
sorry, God.
they just actually, as far as I remember, they did actually just make some Skylanders rarer than others. And then they would not bring them back for future games, but they would still work in the future games, which left even more demand.
That's awesome.
I remember Skylanders went hard as fuck though. Like those games weren't really, and then they added like the cars and Donkey Kong. I think that's when I lost all
The
interest.
Cars,
Is when
Donkey Kong, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I just stopped caring. Alright, cool, because can I be real? I didn't fucking realize that in the original Skylanders that Spyro was like a unique like I didn't realize like Spyro's Adventure was a game at all or anything like that.
Mhm.
And then it was like, oh, Skylanders, this is awesome. This dragon sucks. I don't like it at all. And then I never used Spyro.
Well,
Yeah, there were a couple characters like that in the first one.
Really?
Yeah, what's her name? Cinder or whatever. The purple death dragon was also from a Spyro game.
No fucking way, really? Okay.
She doesn't get to be on the box.
I never got into Skylanders at all, and it's not because I didn't like it. It's just because my parents hated me. I don't know, like didn't buy me any.
You can't drop that in the first episode of the podcast.
My parents hated me.
No,
they
no,
didn't
no,
let me play Skylanders.
No, I don't know. Like I like either it was like myself like asking for the wrong things every Christmas, but like I just never had like the cool stuff. And like that's not like my parents definitely got me like high quality nice gifts, but I think I was just stupid and didn't know what to ask for, because like when I finally got like an Xbox, like all of my friends moved to PlayStation. When I finally got a PlayStation, all of my friends moved to PC, and then when I finally got a PC, they were all back on PlayStation.
Damn.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, and so like I only ever experienced things like Skylander and like the GameCube from like my friend's house. Even like Wii Sports. Like I had a Wii, but I didn't have Wii Sports.
How? It's the pack in no. How did you not have Wii Sports?
No, the Kinect Sports, that's what it was, not Wii Sports. I didn't have a Kinect, but which that one I'm not too sad about, but
how did you get Kinect Sports without a Kinect?
Well, I don't know. It's someone bought it for me as a gift and didn't realize.
Yeah,
so that's the thing.
Classic.
It's like it's like I had the middle class like experience of like, here's this gift you actually can't use because I thought that, you know, it's a video game so you can use it.
You like those, right?
Yeah, I'm vaguely aware of what you're interested in from the one
Yeah.
conversation I've had with you in the last year. Here you go, champ.
Yeah. Well, that's also sort of how I ended up with like every copy of every Pokemon game except for the ones on GameCube, of course. But because like when my relatives would ask what I wanted for Christmas, it was like, I don't freaking know, Pokemon. Like, so like every year, right? There's always just a new Pokemon game. So I'd always get the Pokemon game like a month or 2 months late after everyone else had already beaten it and lost interest. But I'd have both copies, so I had like Ruby and Sapphire, X and Y.
Well, did you have more than one Game Boy so you could actually like do the
yeah.
interactions? Okay,
Yeah, I had like 7 Game Boys. It was awesome.
What?
Dude, I remember discovering eBay for the first time, and like that was way back when people just like put fake shit. I mean, I'm sure they probably still do it, but like complete like fake Game Boys and things like that, and you would get it, and the backlight would barely work and shit. And I remember being like 10 years old and going on eBay and finding a second Game Boy Advanced SP for like $12 and getting it. And that's how I completed. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say my favorite thing on eBay is when they post like brand new Nintendo 3DS, and then you click into it and it just goes, "Oh, actually, it's just the box." But I'm only putting that in the description of the product. Don't tell anyone. Shh.
How do you get a brand new box though? Like, where did you get that?
It's simple.
Empty
You buy your 3DS and then you keep the box around.
Okay, but it's not brand new if you took the
Brand
3DS
new
out of the box.
3DS box.
I mean, if you're going through the effort of scamming someone, you don't really care if it's brand new or not.
Yeah.
Like you just like cut the bottom open and like seal it, like tape it again.
eBay's funny. It used to be a lot funnier. I have an eBay story about Transformers.
Transformers, yeah.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I used to go to church, and we would have Wednesday night like church meetings for the kids in the youth program, where you just sit around and you sing a bunch of gospel songs, and I hated it and acted out a lot. And because the songs were all songs where you would have to do motions with them to represent things.
They made you dance?
Yeah, they would go white boy, go worship God. And I started one thing that a bunch of other kids got in on as well. There's one specific song where they're talking about baby Jesus, and they make you do a rocking motion, and I started throwing
You started throwing Jesus.
I would do the rock motion and then throw him away.
How is this related to Transformers? Or
No, I'm getting there. It's a bit of a ramble. So
Jesus was the Transformer.
Throwing it back for Jesus.
But my dad is like from the South, Alabama, super Southern Baptist, really into it. And so that my like causing trouble was starting to rub off on his reputation. So he started bribing me to behave. By being like, yeah, every week you behave, I'll fucking do eBay auctions for little Gen 1 Transformers. And people were just putting up like the rarest Transformers from Gen 1 that if you were to buy them straight are like $2,000. They're just like, I'll sell it for like $5 if you win the auction, right? Nowadays, it's just people trying to scam other people with 3DS boxes.
Wait, so does that mean you just have a bunch of super rare Transformers?
No. I was 7. They're gone. I don't know where they went.
Well, I was talking about this just before, right? With the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, where it's like the amount of like super rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards I would have as a kid. And I remember I would like sit like in my like living room with like the windows open, like and the area between the window and the screen, I would like play with the cards and like rub them against like the dirt in the window. I like shove them into the screen, like rip them in half, and just like I don't know, I would beat the shit out of my cards. I don't know. Because you have these like elaborate stories in your head where it's like, oh no, Dark Magician, watch out! There's the sand pit. Oh, there you go.
Sam, I think that was only you.
Getting
I did not.
into
I had like fucking action figures to play with. I was not like
I had those too.
So you were like, here's my action figure and my 2-dimensional card.
Yeah,
I did it with my Bakugan.
Oh,
Bakugan
don't get me started.
Like little fucking guys. They're still like physical things. I can't imagine
like bash them up against each other, they'd break.
Yeah,
but like that's not holding a card and being like, yeah, this is a part of my experience.
I didn't know how to play the cards, so I didn't have anyone to play with. So, well, I did at school, but then I would have all my cards destroyed, so I couldn't bring them in.
Hey guys, sorry, can't play today. Tore them up. There was an
Mashed them in
epic
the window
battle.
again. Oops. So like Bakugan, I was like so obsessed with them. Every time I go to Target and like pass Bakugan, I'm always like so close to buying them, but I just can't justify like if there was any like I know Bakugan like you can play as a game, but like I've never heard of anyone playing Bakugan.
I played it.
One time I went to Toys R Us when it was like popular, and there were these kids playing like a Bakugan tournament, and that was probably like the peak of my childhood. But I didn't play. I just saw it happen. But
you peaked watching other kids play Bakugan.
Yeah, it was like, oh my god, it's real. Bakugan's real.
It's not fake.
But anyway,
how do you even play it?
It's so.
I can explain. I played this.
Yeah, I was just gonna go off of my vague understanding of it. So yeah, if you actually know how to play, go for it.
Yeah, because I used to in like summer camps, kids had like Bakugan cases that they would bring in shit.
Yeah.
So like again, this is like seven-year-old me remembering, but essentially like different cards. So they're the different types of Bakugan, right? And then each Bakugan has a power value on it, and then you lay all the cards like face down. And you roll out your Bakugan onto the cards, and whichever one it pops up on is the card. And then you flip that card over, and it'll have like a value on it of points. And then what happens is like the opponent tries to, because there's like different values for the different colors, right? And so it's like if you have a red Bakugan and you land on this one, you get an additional 150 points added to your Bakugan attack score. And so then if you roll a Bakugan onto the same card, then they fight it out, and whichever is the stronger Bakugan wins. And I think you go until the other person runs out of Bakugan or something like that, or you deal a certain amount of damage to the other player.
I didn't think it was a damage system, because I only know from the DS game. I thought it was a thing of just if you win 3 cards, you win.
Well, because the issue is like you would try and roll it to the same fucking card and it just wouldn't pop up. Like that's what I remember is like trying to play and like fucking having to throw my Bakugan 3 times because the magnet didn't want to connect to the card.
Well, it's supposed to be that if you miss, actually you just wasted your turn.
Okay, well.
It's not an easy game. It's a game of pure skill.
To be fair, I got my Bakugan from like when I would visit my grandparents up in Pennsylvania, and we would go out to an Amish market, and they would have made their own Bakugan,
the
and you
Amish
could buy
were making Bakugan.
Yes, this is. I'm not joking. What? I'm not joking. Like, and this was the same market where they did like, they would like sell cows at auction, and you could sit in on the cow auction. And so what would happen is my parents liked watching all the different farm animals coming through and like seeing all the different cows. And so they would buy me a Bakugan.
So you're showing up with homebrew Bakugan.
It's like when you had print your own Pokemon cards.
They looked real. So I just used those, yeah.
I would do anything to see a picture of one of these if you have any.
Hold on.
If you have any around your house, anywhere,
I have they're at my parents' house. I don't have them on me, but
please,
like if it's this Amish market up in Penn State,
dude. I need to go. The amount of times. So like, I'm a big Pennsylvania fan, right? Mm-hmm. And so the amount of times I've passed Penn State, I need the exact address of this. I need to go and buy a wood Bakugan because that would be sick as hell. To have like a homebrew Bakugan that was like handcrafted from like a skill passed down generations just to turn into a Bakugan.
I think I found the market. Hold on, let me see if I can find the shit. Because I found the market. It's the Green Dragon Market.
Green Dragon Market.
They all lose to the Pyrus Bakugan.
Yeah, I feel like if I search Green Dragon Market, I would never find it. That's such a generic, like, hey guys, I'm making a game store. I'm gonna call it the Green Dragon Market.
No, that was the name of was the name of the flea market. The flea market was named Green Dragon Market.
Oh, okay. Well, the only actual story I have of like Bakugan with like another human being is like I brought my Bakugan in one day, and then like after lunch, came back from lunch in like I don't know 4th grade or something, and someone had stolen my Bakugan, and I know exactly who it was, but I never got them back. He was an asshole. It's like, yo, you stole my Bakugan. He's like, nah, and I never had them again.
I suffered a great Bakugan loss. A kid told me that they were gonna trade, or that they would trade me their. So you know the bit in the Bakugan where they were like, "Oh yeah, now we're gonna start releasing like these massive, fucking,
yes,
like dragon ones."
Yeah,
I had the Pyrus one. I had the Drago one.
Oh,
and
you
he
know
was like, "Oh, I have the." I vaguely remember the type names. It's like Pyrus, I think Darkus,
sure.
like Ventus, something like that.
Yeah, I know
Terra,
it was like Venti, or gotta get the Starbucks types.
But he's like, "Oh yeah, I have the other one. I'll trade you mine for yours." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll bring mine tomorrow." And I brought it, gave it to him. He's like, "Oh, I'll bring mine tomorrow."
Damn.
I'll bring mine tomorrow. Tomorrow never came, boys.
Never got the.
There's a quiz to figure out what type of Bakugan you are.
Oh yes, okay. Well, come on, gotta take the quiz.
I mean, obviously you can't do it right now, but
yeah. Next
like,
podcast we'll come back with our Bakugan.
Yeah, which of the 6 worlds is yours? But
Subterra, my bad. Chaos, Aquas. Yeah, they all of them end in us except Subterra.
Yeah, of course. Rock type don't care about your words. Rock don't need word.
It's the longest name. It's the most word out of all of them.
Because that's the word that other people assign to it. If it were up to them, they'd just be rock.
You speaking from personal experience?
Yeah, as a Subterra type, I've already taken the quiz. I know I'm Subterra. I identified as Subterra all the way through middle school.
Hold on, I'm taking the quiz right now.
Reading it.
Yeah, you can't take the quiz right now. What?
I'm taking the quiz, man. I'm participating. I'm just taking the quiz.
You're not...
What superpower would you choose? Morphing.
Wait. What are the options? I would love to talk about this.
What are the options? I'm already past. Okay, so
how would you all describe?
Hey Sam, pick a weapon: axe, spear, magic, bow and arrow, dagger, and sword.
Okay, I'm a really big bow and arrow enjoyer. I hate to say it because I feel like bow and arrow is like, oh yeah, you like bow and arrow, you nerd. But okay. I find like whenever there's
bows and arrows are sick.
I know they are, but that's the thing is it's like I feel so like I have to be counterculture because like in any game where it's like, oh, what weapon do you want? You can't pick the bow and arrow one because there's already 500 people with bow and arrow. It's the same reason I play tank in Overwatch or like tank in any MMO because no one wants to be the goddamn tank because it sucks.
Here's the trick: play a FromSoft game. Go bow and arrow. No one goes bow and arrow.
Yeah, because fucking bow and arrow is super lame.
Yeah,
in Elden Ring, it's cool.
Okay, listen. I think I'm a dirt muncher. When I play a game, I want to be up in front of someone's face.
Is that a slur?
Dirt muncher. I don't think so. Anyways,
yo, first slur, let's go.
If it was a slur, it wasn't intentional. But like when I play a game, I want to fucking be hitting the enemy hard with like a big stick. That's what I play for. So when I see this little fucking twink out in the distance shooting me with a bow and arrow, it pisses me off.
That's why you use a great bow.
That's
fucking fire.
It's not any better. It's like I want to get my ass over to you. Why do you keep running away from me?
So this is actually something I really liked in Brawlhalla is man, I just unironically was about to talk about Brawlhalla. Fuck. Oh god. But the bow and arrow in that game is like a melee weapon, so it's pretty sick, but man.
Who the fuck is sorry, I'm on favorite Marvel hero is now the question.
What is that's part of the Bakugan quiz?
Yeah, it's part of the Bakugan quiz. Favorite Marvel hero. Who the fuck is Cloak? Who is
Cloak?
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak is in. Wait, are they related? Like as characters? I had no idea. See,
yes,
also
they are related. I think they're siblings.
Oh well, as like a Marvel Snap enjoyer these days, it's so cool to be like, man, I actually know that character. Like I don't actually know who they are, but I know at Marvel Snap the next turn after you play them, you can drag all your guys over there.
You see, the issue is that fucking Marvel has been entirely ruined for me by the MCU. Like, I used to really be into the MCU, and then during COVID, Tommy and I were like, "Oh, we're gonna watch all the Marvel movies in a row. This is definitely this is definitely a really good idea." And then, I think we got all the way to the first Avengers movie, and then we just skipped like half the movies because we couldn't stand them, and we were like, well, we'll just watch the big ones. So we watched the first Avengers movie, and then I think the next movie we watched was Age of Ultron. I think we skipped everything in between except like maybe Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I think I've seen almost every like MCU movie. I don't watch the shows, but I've seen probably all of the movies other than the Thor movies. I've seen the first Thor movie. I watched it on my Xbox when I was sick one day. It was pretty awesome, but other than that, I've heard the Thor movies are pretty bad, so I don't really want to see them, but it's just fun to go to the movie theater to go watch a movie, and like it's like the post, like, you know, the consumer in me. It's like, I know it's going to be a fine movie. I know exactly what I'm getting, so I just like get an excuse to go buy some popcorn and eat until I feel like I'm going to explode.
Well, apparently the new Ant-Man movie sucks.
I
I
actually disagree.
love MODOK.
Really?
I love MODOK. Don't you dare talk shit about MODOK.
No, okay, MODOK is so handsome. He's my beloved. But
okay, I wouldn't go that far.
What do you mean? What's wrong?
I wouldn't call him handsome, but
look at him, Sam. He's like a fucking from Spy Kids. Which one is the one that's
so
Not
I saw
Spy
that.
Kids.
I saw
Excuse me, Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
So Shark Boy and Lava Girl was actually the first movie I ever saw in 3D, and it traumatized me. It was still when they had like the red and blue glasses. It was so scary. I saw Shark Boy and Lava Girl probably like 3 times in theaters, I think.
What scared you?
I don't know, the shark. Dude, no. This is why I'm afraid of sharks, because there's a scene in Shark Boy and Lava Girl 3D where the shark, at like, you know, the opening scene where they're like in the water meeting Shark Boy, when the shark like jumps out at you. Scariest thing ever. I was traumatized as like a 9-year-old. You didn't see it in 3D? We missed it out. Yeah, you gotta get the red and blue glasses.
Hey, really quick question.
I saw Spy Kids 3D.
Which class would you join? Hidden elves, powerful Vikings, fearsome Spartans, honorable samurai, wise priests, or dark ninjas?
I picked powerful Vikings. Wait, I already completed the quiz. I've been waiting.
You completed the quiz?
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Okay. I'm choosing hidden elves.
Oh God. All right. Well, I guess I'll do it then.
Yeah, you gotta take the quiz.
I guess I'm peer pressured.
Are you fucking kidding me? I feel like a loser. Damn.
Are you Subterra?
No, I'm not. I'm Pyrus. I feel like a basic.
Did you pick your favorite color is red?
Pyrus homies together.
Oh, you're also Pyrus.
Yeah, I'm Pyrus.
So the problem with these BuzzFeed quizzes, or I guess playbuzz.com quizzes, is that it's like the first question decides what you are. Why even have a quiz if you're going to say what's your favorite color? Also, favorite's spelled wrong. It's spelled
purple.
Yeah, I also picked purple.
Oh, okay. Well, then why have a question that's what's your favorite color if that's not going to decide the whole quiz?
I'm idiot double back.
Yeah.
It's just as bad. What is the point of having a question, what's your favorite color? Also, these are so low effort. Favorite is spelled wrong.
Sam.
Question 1, they have a typo.
Sam, don't question the Bakugan quiz, dog. You don't want to know what's gonna happen to you if you do.
And this like low quality fucking emoji picture. What?
Speaking of which, did you guys know that there's a Bakugan launcher?
Why?
Yes.
Why would they have that? I guess it's for like if you can't roll, like if you have a broken wrist, you can still gone on.
I think you're supposed to play with it. Like it's supposed to be like how you launch the Bakugan.
It's illegal if you go to tournament and play with that one.
Well, because they had this one where it's like the wrist strap where you pull it back, and then they have the one that's just like a hand one with a single Bakugan.
They also spelled powerful wrong.
And the hand one is the old one. The other one was, I think, like season 2 or 3. They started shooting them from
they
those.
had seasons.
Yes, they had seasons of the show.
Oh, I'm looking at.
I was super into the show.
There was a show.
Yeah,
there was
the
a
show.
show.
Was awesome,
dude. I'm gonna be real. this might be fucking sacrilege. Growing up, I could not stand like card or whatever toy-based TV shows like Bakugan, Yu-Gi-Oh, fucking Pokemon. Even I just hated all of those shows so much.
The Bakugan show was sick as fuck, and
Yeah. It was
No,
awesome.
Pitch it to me. Pitch it to me.
So it's Bakugan, but it's a show.
it's Bakugan, but with like Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah,
plot.
it's literally
Or
the
you
Yu-Gi-Oh
get
show.
banished. Well, here's how it works. So the Bakugan show, it's like, oh, we just have these funny little ball creatures. We play a game with them. Like, it's all digital. Like, these are it's Digimon, actually, is what it is. It's like, oh, we just have, it's like these digital holograms of these things. And then you learn throughout the show, no, you are pulling them from a whole separate universe to come out here and combat each other.
Oh.
And you're able to form deep bonds with them.
Yeah, but
And
that's
this one specific one wants to destroy the universe.
and of course they were
Naga.
the dark type.
No, Naga didn't
An
have a
evil
type.
type.
That was their whole gimmick.
Yeah, but aren't they the black and purple ones?
No. That's like that was the Hydra one.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought the
hold
Hydra
on,
ones
I
were the bad
found
ones.
it. So
The Hydra is the original bad one. That's the one Masquerade uses.
So here's Naga. It's like a giant,
Oh,
yeah, dragon.
Naga's
with,
sick
a
as
purple
fuck.
core.
yeah. By the also the
That
Bakugan
design goes
original,
hard.
the original opening of Bakugan went really hard. I remember that too.
Oh, he has a human form too. Awesome.
Is he hot?
He's a child. So
Never mind. Of course, he's a
Wait, Naga
child.
came back?
Child show. So- also, no.
No, that's
this is
DeviantArt.
This is a DeviantArt
this
image
is
from
deep. Hey,
2010.
listen. Hey. I've never watched the show. I'm susceptible to.
you got DeviantArted.
Oh my god.
I'm starting to realize Bakugan might have been an early awakening. No, because there's Masquerade, who's
Go on.
actually trans, like genuinely.
Uh-huh.
Hold on,
I'm serious.
Uh-huh. I think
This
Lilo and
looks
Stitch
like
was
a
my
Yu-Gi-Oh character.
Lilo and Stitch was my early awakening. If we're just gonna
For what? For being a straight cis white male.
Yeah, I was awoken straight by Lilo,
Lilo
and
and
Stitch.
Stitch, the movie with no cis straight
There's
white
also
males
a
in it.
show, okay? Again, sorry you didn't have a television, but there was a show.
No, dude, it's because I was only allowed to watch PBS Kids growing up, and then
Cyber
like
Chase, though.
educational adjacent shows. So like, my parents would be like, "Oh yeah, MythBusters is educational. You can watch MythBusters."
What did you learn how to did you learn how to bust myths?
No, I definitely learned how to curse though.
Awesome. I love educational programming.
Wait, was this is this the Lilo and Stitch show? What the hell is this?
What? No, that's not the Lilo. I don't know what the hell that is.
That's new.
That is not.
This is from 2008 to 2015.
What? Was there a Japanese Lilo and Stitch or a Chinese? This
There
looks
was
more like
also
Chinese.
there was also an American show.
Yeah, the American show is the one I watched, and like,
It's Japanese because it says they're in Japan.
well, it could still be Chinese. It could be like they didn't want to like alert
Wait,
the Chinese citizens, and so they set it in Japan.
Really playing up the white.
I
Part of
do
this
not.
No.
podcast.
I
Like a-
don't think, Sam. If I had, I don't think that. I think China is so nationalistic and so controlling of their television that they would probably make it Chinese, would
Yeah,
they not?
But they didn't want to they don't want to be like, oh, there's like monsters running around the cities of China, so they like put it in Japan and be like, well, look how bad Japan is. They
Countries
got
of
monsters running
origin.
around.
Wait, why are there 3 countries of origin? Japan, South Korea, and China.
I wasn't wrong.
You weren't right.
Yeah, but China's
You're not.
there.
So... Hold on. I'm. Hold on. Stitch. Country of origin.
It's okay. So it
It
takes
did
place
originate in
Hawaii.
China. Wait.
Oh, well,
No.
look at that.
Hold
Well,
on.
look at that. Huh.
No.
Look
I
at that.
completely misread. We're
Okay.
talking about the global Stitch. Whatever the fuck. The
I'm
global
guessing
Stitch
this is the Globo Stitch.
is.
Why are there so many stitches? God damn it, Disney.
Hold on. Stitch 2008 show. It's Japanese.
But you're not even talking about the original show. The original
Yeah, but I'm talking about whatever the fuck this is.
What do you even, like, you're just saying countries.
No, I'm talking about here. I'll post the fucking link to the Wikipedia article. As we all know,
want to read it.
Wikipedia is a Bible.
No.
Here's Stitch!
Okay.
Exclamation mark. Disney's.
No, we're talking
Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch. It is a spin-off of Disney's Lilo and Stitch. It's the sequel.
It was the first show that came up when I googled Lilo and Stitch.
Do better
TV
Googling.
show.
Again, first you drop the DeviantArt link, and then
Bro,
Getting played.
the thing is that character looks like it could have been from one of those early 2000s.
no, that is Stitch. No, those are the characters. That is Stitch and the other ones.
I was talking about the DeviantArt.
Oh,
Speaking of the Bakugan thing, I found the character. I found art of the character.
okay, go on. Oh,
she
wait,
would just trans.
wait. I remember that character. I don't
And
remember
then
the trans part.
just become a full-on man with man voice, and then trans back to girl.
Was she like possessed? What was the explanation?
No, it was just an alter ego.
Oh, okay.
For brawling.
Did you guys ever watch Metabots? Speaking of,
No.
Metabots was so awesome. I loved Metabots. It was like Transformers, but like cool. Like
no, this is not cool, Sam.
Metabots was okay. I don't know what. Okay, there are definitely some Coomer images of Metabots because it turned into like Meta Rot or something. I don't know, but like the original Metabots from like the late '90s, early 2000s was awesome.
These toys right here.
Yeah, they're awesome. They were so sick. And there was a Game Boy game that to this day is still the greatest game I've ever played.
It's the greatest game you've ever played.
Great. It's literally the greatest game I've ever played. The Metabots, Rikuyo, or I think it was Rikuyo edition. I didn't have the Metabi edition, but yeah, it was awesome. It was like lane-based, turn-based fighting, and you had to like beat
Roku
up.
show.
Yeah,
Wait,
Roku show. I
I've
don't know.
seen this game. I think this was like I was like trying to download like Pokemon ROMs,
It's
and
so
there was
good.
like a Pokemon ROM. I can't remember what it was named, but like it was this game, and I
Yeah.
was so confused because I was like, "This isn't fucking Pokemon. What the hell is this? It's a
I don't know.
Metabot."
This looks like Pokemon.
Well, anyway, Metabots are so sick, and they used to also, of course, they had toys of them. But so I think like my parents would get me the wrong gifts. I think it's because instead of like asking for like a GameCube, I'd be like, I want like $200 of Bakugan or Metabots toys, and so I would just be alone playing with my fucking Metabots toys instead of playing on the GameCube and like having friends. But it was awesome. And so you could like take the parts off of like the Metabots and swap them out with other parts, and so like that was the same thing you could do in the game. Like that was kind of the thing in the show where it was like, you know how like drag races, like you win the car or whatever, it's like whatever those things are called, the events where they do the drag race and then the loser loses their car.
Oh, you mean
No?
a drag race? I don't think it's normal for a person to lose a car in a drag race. I think that's just a movie thing.
No, okay, first of all, there's definitely a show, but
Of what? What are we talking?
I'm
You mean
looking it up.
RuPaul's drag race.
drag race losing
Yeah,
your car.
Yeah, you lose RuPaul's Drag Race. They take your fucking dress.
They take your car.
You have to walk home.
No, I'm getting RuPaul's Drag Race results now instead of trying to.
What are you?
Oh my god.
I'm so confused. What
don't think this is
information
the
he's
thing.
trying to convey?
So I found an article from 2004 from money.cnn.com.
Of course.
And I'm not going to read the article, but there is a highlighted phrase that says "bring your bus pass." So I think that explains what I was trying to say pretty well.
No, it doesn't.
No, what's the article titled?
There's no title. It's before titles existed.
What does that mean?
Here's the article. If you want to look at it yourself, it doesn't even have a hyperlink thing that pops up. It's just the link.
What is this? How did you find this article?
With high stakes poker with more than a dollop of American graffiti thrown in?
Yeah, okay,
It's
okay.
pinks.
So here, yeah, pinks, yeah. Yeah, so the show adds an element of risk absent from Survivor, The Apprentice, American Idol, and other reality offerings because it pits drag racers against each other with and your stake is that you lose your car.
the titles to their cars.
Yeah. They lose the title to their car. What was the point of this? Oh, right, Metabots. Yeah, Metabots. So that's how Metabots worked, where it was like you would like fight your Metabots, and it was like Pokemon where you have like a Metabot battle, but like the Metabot was like your Pikachu best friend. Like they all were, like everyone's Metabot was their best friend. And like if you lost, then you lose a piece of your Metabot. Like the other kid would just like take the arm from your Metabot.
I don't think.
And then they'd show up to school the next day with like your Metabot's arm on their Metabot.
That's like betting Beyblade shit.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I didn't really watch Beyblade. I just remember Beyblade was sick, but I never really watched it. But
you destroy another kid's Beyblade on the playground, you fucking steal their whole ass Beyblade.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same thing as
so you go home and tell your parents, like, "Hey, I lost my Beyblade today," and they're like, "God, you're a disappointment."
Yeah.
Weren't the Beyblades in the show sentient?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything
they
was.
had beasts.
Everything is always sentient in these fucking shows.
They had bit beasts, which were the spirits of the Beyblades.
Well, now I need to look up bit beasts.
At least according to the people from Half-Life VR AI.
What?
I don't know if they're telling the truth. Half-Life VR, but the AI is sentient. Have you guys not seen it?
What?
No.
What are you talking about?
You never saw Half-Life VR, but the AI is sentient.
This is what comes up when I look up bit beasts.
Yeah, they're the spirits of the Beyblades.
I know. I'm not believing
like
you.
show.
It's more so I'm just in disbelief that this is Beyblades.
No, I remember that they had spirits. It's like when you buy a Beyblade, that's how they market.
Go Pegasus.
That's,
top 10 bit beast evolutions. Give me a second.
That's how they market the Beyblade to you. Is like you're buying like it's named like Red Dragon or whatever, like Typhoon Storm or whatever cool ass.
Well, no, and they actually, so
go on.
Well,
go
no,
on
when I was on vacation visiting my girlfriend, I got really into watching Beyblade and Bakugan videos, like of collectors talking about like actual like in-play statistical differences between these things.
Mm-hmm.
And Beyblades has a surprisingly competitive scene.
Yeah, they like have different weights and like different. Yeah. One time I was.
Or some spin different directions. Some have like special abilities.
Yeah, they like activate like super spin mode. Like
they jump.
Yeah. No, Beyblades are actually really cool. And like surprisingly complicated compared to like Bakugan, which is like
and you can like take them apart and mix and match them.
Yeah, you can add
really
like
awesome.
like an actual metal body, so you can like kill your friend in real life.
Shoot it right at them.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember putting attacks in my Nerf darts.
What?
As a kid, yeah. Like you guys not mod your Nerf guns as kids?
I wasn't allowed to have Nerf guns as a kid, and I was really pissed
being
off.
real in a house of at the time 3 boys. No Nerf guns.
I have dogs, so I wasn't allowed to have Nerf guns. So I was really mad when my younger brother got Nerf guns and would shoot the dogs with them because I always wanted to do that.
We would kill each other, so we weren't allowed to have them.
So
Me and my brother got Nerf guns, and we would like modify them to take off stuff that was like put in for safety. Like, I can't remember. There was this one called like the Firefly or something. Hold on.
I think you're the reason I wasn't allowed to have a Nerf gun as a child.
And no, it's not the Firefly. What is this? It was like you just pull back a little thing. It was a tiny gun, and you could pull back this thing, and you'd shoot it. And there's this air compressor thing, and there were springs put in it to slow down the compression of like as the whatever the thing you pulled back shot back in, right? And so we took those springs out so it would full force slam, like push the air pressure into the dart. And then we would put tacks in the heads of the darts. And we could shoot them and they would like stick in the wooden walls and stuff. And that's how we played.
It doesn't sound like playing at that point, I'm not gonna lie.
No,
like attempted murder.
No, because like you wouldn't get because like we had like we would wear Halloween masks. We would wear Halloween masks, and then we would like because we had a big basement growing up, and so we'd like set it up like one person was invading the basement while the other person was defending it, and so the person got to build like a whole base, and then you'd come in and it'd go pew, pew, like the whatevers.
And try to kill your brother.
No, because it's not like the tacks are not like far enough through the Nerf dart that it's gonna like puncture an artery or something, but like it would stick in your skin. So so like if you got hit, people would know. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, you got hit. You're out."
Honestly, I can't judge. My brothers and I had a bunk bed, and we were like fucking fist fighting on the top of it and sending each other over.
Okay, but like, is that? See, that's like fist fighting. I think is very different from where I was, because I was like, oh yeah,
shooting.
Like, okay, no, because like mine is within the context of it being a game. You're fist fighting your brothers.
Yeah,
as a game.
What? As a funny.
Yeah,
as a gaff.
Sure.
I remember one time I slept over at my friend's house, and like for his birthday he'd have like a whole bunch of people over, and there was like one kid that like me and my like close friends were sort of like impartial to. I might have told you guys this story already, but because it's hilarious to me still to this day. And so my one friend had like an airsoft gun. I don't even know if it was his or not, but he was just like pointing it like across it was a huge basement, like the size of like their like normal like house that was like downstairs. And he was just pointing it, and like he shot it, and I don't know if he meant to shoot it or not, but it hit this one kid that like we didn't really like square in the forehead. Oh. And the kid started crying.
No, that's sad.
It's the funniest thing ever. No, like other people liked him. It was just I didn't, I was sort of impartial to him, so it was really funny for us. But like he didn't mean to shoot him in the forehead. He just shot accidentally and like nearly blinded this kid, and it was hilarious.
Hold on, I found the Nerf gun I was talking about. It's
How
right
is that
here.
any different than pushing your brother off the bed?
I want to say I found
it's brotherly bonding.
It was brotherly bonding.
Good old Cain and Abel style,
I mean, listen, I didn't pull the trigger, so I only was as a spectator to that. Okay, I didn't shoot anyone. He was fine. He was crying like a baby.
I'm sorry to interrupt this story, but I found this product on Amazon. I posted the picture of it. This is one of the top product reviews. Is this image right here that I'm posting? It doesn't want to load apparently, so I'll describe it briefly before it sends.
I see the gun.
I see it.
No. It's a separate image. It is of a woman cosplaying as Star Fox pointing a gun at a furry who is lying on the ground handcuffed. And this is one of the comment reviews, and it's in Spanish, so I have no idea what it says, but I don't know why this doesn't want to upload.
Because it's in Spanish, man. We're in English.
The picture is not in Spanish. Let's try this again.
It's encrypted in Spanish.
Okay, surely. There it is.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is I guess they must have used it for their cosplay or something, but it's.
Oh yeah, you can see the little finger ring.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like illegal to paint something as like a real gun.
Is it?
I don't think. It depends on where you are.
So okay, so in New York,
the big thing is if it has the orange tip at the end, it's still fine.
Well, does it? I don't think that it does.
No,
it doesn't.
It absolutely does not. No.
They definitely just had a real gun, and they had to be like, it's not a real gun, so let's post the review on Amazon to like.
Oh wait, I think it might. Yeah, if you zoom in really close, you can see a little bit of orange.
I think that's the bullet. Because hold on,
them shooting the guy.
No, because the bullets are orange here. Look.
Oh, you're right. That's totally the bullet. Yeah.
Here's the second image where you can see the front of the gun more clearly.
Can I just say this is really bad for podcast format where there's no fucking.
Well, no. You can put the images.
Yeah, I'm
up
gonna
after.
edit.
Okay.
I will put the things on the screen. But like, if you're just listening for in podcast form, then
okay, well,
you're out of luck.
Sorry, I just wanted to share.
I like that the furry in the second image has a suit on. It's a different furry.
It is a different furry.
They're doing business.
Wait, and why? So like the girl dressed as Fox, or a person dressed as Fox has like the health pack from like Halo Reach on their leg.
I don't know, man.
Hold on.
Is the other person supposed to be Falco?
I mean,
Yes.
surely, right?
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
Look, this is just the health pack from
What,
Halo
do you
that they
want them
have.
to wear a beat?
Is that not just the health pack from Halo without the H?
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah, well, sure.
Okay, hold on. Here's a better. That's like
Actually, the
model.
more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking, no, it's not the health pack from
Yeah, me
Halo.
too. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it.
I
Back
think
it out.
it's not the case.
Oh man, I just got hit with my files are too powerful and I can't upload an image because it's too big because I don't have Discord Nitro anymore.
Regardless, talking about kids getting injured by other kids when we were children, I remember I was in elementary school. There was this kid who was like really into dolphins, and he thought dolphins were like the coolest thing ever. And we were like on a trip to some lake somewhere, and some kid was basically fucking with him and going like, dolphins are lame, sharks are awesome, I love dolphins. And so this kid who's like dolphin obsessed fully sack tackles the other kid off a dock, and like it's like shallow water too, right? It is not deep, and the kid hits his head on the fucking
Oh my god.
yeah, and almost drowns.
And wait,
What
were you
the
here for this?
Yeah, I was there. I was like chilling and not on the dock.
He was showing the other kid how the dolphin shark matchup goes.
Dude, there was a time when I got put in a group with my crush in like 8th grade, and you know how like in shows it's like the guy like can't speak. That was literally me. I was literally could feel I was like, she was like, oh, do you want to like write down your email? And I was just like frozen in fear. Like I could not act for a solid like I don't know. It felt like forever.
Dude, I was not like that at all. My interaction, like my thing was like, I don't want to bother any of these girls because I think I'm a creepy, weird loser. So interacting with them makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, and that's I don't think that now, but in like fucking 14 years old, coming into high school with no friends after going to a private school for every day, fucking my entire life. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know I know at least you know this, but when I started my freshman year or sophomore year, because my high school started at sophomore year, it started at 10th grade. I started my sophomore year of high school on crutches for the whole year, and it was like a multiple flight high school. It was like two stories, and there were like ramps, like so the school was like split in half by the cafeteria, and then we had a pool in our basement, and so I don't know, there was like ramps like on the first floor.
Basement.
Your high school had a pool?
Oh yeah, we also had a basement, so it was like 3 floors. Yeah, so for gym we had to go into the basement.
What do you mean the pool check? My high school didn't have a pool. What the hell are you talking about?
My high school has like a huge ass pool.
Yeah, my high school is where they do all of the things for like the whole district. So they had like there was only one high school, and also my class, my graduating class was like 1,200 people, I want to say. So I think it was big, but yeah, we had to do swimming, and that sucked. That was unrelated, but was that my sophomore year? I think it was. I think I also had to do swimming while I was on crutches, and they forced me to do swimming, and I nearly drowned like at least a few times. It was awesome. I could swim.
Wait, they forced you to swim while?
Yeah, we had to do swimming, and I couldn't get out of it. Like I had gotten out of like most of the year of gym, and I had to do like bookwork instead, and I didn't do the bookwork, so I almost failed the sophomore year because I like was failing gym. And I got yelled at a lot that year. It was awesome.
I feel like you told me you almost failed like your biology class.
Oh yeah, I almost failed like everything. That was my senior year when I got like a 40 on the midterm. Yeah, and then I dropped out of I think it was physics. I dropped out of physics to go take animal science. And in that class I had like it was all like the kids who like didn't take physics because of they were delinquents like me. And there was one kid in there who had a heart attack, and he was like 17 years old because he like overdosed on coke or something. He was awesome. I love that kid. He was so funny. Yeah.
No, I know exactly the type of class you're talking about.
It was awesome.
Because I went to a private school for middle school, and so I learned Latin, not French, because I was like
bougie as hell.
Not even that I was bougie as hell. It was just all my friends took Latin, and I was like, yeah, I'll take Latin. Surely it'll be easier than Spanish. And so then coming into high school, I didn't have any Spanish knowledge, and my high school didn't offer Spanish 1. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just take French. That's kind of like Spanish, or kind of like Latin.
Because high school, like, you start in middle school.
Yeah, and also... oops.
I guess it's different.
Doxing yourself. Let's go.
Bleep that out. But how far into the recording are we? Right.
I can just cut it out.
Yeah. Thanks. But our high school was super like bougie because it had the IB diploma program,
Mm-hmm.
and so they were like, we're not going to do starting levels for a lot of languages. And so, like, one of the only starting level language classes was French. And I took that class because I didn't have any other options that I could really take. And they would get in, like, screaming matches with the teacher on a daily basis, some of the students would.
Yeah, the kind of work that we would get in that animal science class was my teacher would hand out a coloring sheet that had, like, 1 through 10 and had, like, the matching colors, and she'd give us crayons. And then the kid who had a heart attack, he would take a black crayon, color it all black, and then hand it in and say, "I'm done." And then go on his phone, and the teacher would be like, okay. So that's, yeah. And then, like, his sister was also in the class, and one time the teacher made him, like, do the assignment again, and the sister started to, like, argue and be like, are you, you know, whatever, calling my brother stupid? I don't really remember. It was a pretty regular occurrence, I think. So, just, you know, yelling at the teacher, and then, like, they had to get, like, security, and then she, like, got kicked out of the class, or I don't know. It was crazy. It was awesome.
The fuck?
It was first period too. It was literally first period. So, like, that's what I would come into every morning, and it was so funny. As a kid, as an adult, oh my god! But like,
I guess maybe it was a district thing that, like, my high school had introductions for all of the languages, including Latin.
I mean, this wasn't a language class. That was animal science.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, doubling back to that. We didn't have animal science.
Okay, well, my school... So, I live in, like, the neighborhood where it's, like, we have liberal white people, but they're only so liberal, right? You talk about, like, raising taxes to help pay for, like, social programs, and they go, well, hold on now. That's the kind of neighborhood I live in. Yeah. So, like, the school is set up, basically, where they're like, we're just gonna pad grades. And so they offer these higher level courses, but they're actually not higher level. It just looks better. Hey, no, don't mess with the lighter, honey. Sorry, I have a cat that I have to move, just for context for the viewers. She's a good cat.
That's my girlfriend. She just likes to light things on fire.
No, I'm not dating my cat. But, like, so, yeah, they would be like, oh, yeah, this is a higher level span. And, like, I didn't know that at the time as a kid. But, like, this is a higher level Spanish class. You can only take it if you're so proficient in Spanish. And then it was, like, Spanish 1 and 2 in 1 year. That is the same school where the IB diploma... Oh, God, there's so much. But the IB diploma program coordinator got fired because they intentionally tried to keep black kids from going into the IB diploma program, which is, like, the reason you attend our high school.
Right.
Yeah. And then they tried to sue the school for being racist against them because they got, like, fired for doing that or some shit. It was wild.
Whack.
Yeah, also the vice principal worked as a TA in the high school and married one of the high school students the day they graduated.
Dude, there's, like, so many stories. Like, as I've gotten older, like, looking back and thinking about, like, my teachers... And like, when you're younger, you don't, like, think of teachers as people. Like, you don't really think of adults as people, right? You just think of them as, like, adults. And then, like, as you get older and you see, like, that teachers are, like, also people, and you sort of, like, identify all these, like, sketchy things that they did when you were younger. Not necessarily, like, to me, but, like, just in general, right? Like, like flirting with other teachers or, you know, whatever. And it's like, oh my god.
Adults are just teenagers, but bigger.
Especially when they work in a school. Like, as someone who has done a lot of stuff in schools, like, it's crazy. Like,
someone who's almost a teacher, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of knew about all that shit in high school, but that's because my mom's a teacher.
Yeah. I mean, like in high school, like that's when you first start to become aware of it. Like,
so I was super keen on that stuff because I had been listening to her talk about some of it, and it still goes on. There, just recently, she was talking about how the leader of the school's ASB program, like, tried to get, literally gave her daughter like the homecoming vote.
oh, awesome.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Like,
I never.
There were supposed to be people like double checking the votes, and she just completely like fucking lied.
I never went to any dances in school. I went to one dance in 4th grade. It was an ice cream social, and I was like, wow, this is cool. I should go to more dances. And then I never went to any dances. I didn't even go to prom.
Dude, I missed my prom because of COVID.
Yeah, I missed my prom because it was $150, and I didn't have a date and didn't want to go.
Hey, so I graduated a year early, so I got to go to prom just before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you all weren't missing anything.
No, I mean, I know I wasn't missing anything.
I remember your prom experience. I remember, Carmela, I specifically remember you being like hyped for prom and then coming back from prom, and I was like, oh, how was prom? Did you have fun? And you were like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And I will say, hindsight 2020, some of it was on me. I still am just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So to get into my prom, you had to wait. Like if you weren't like early, you had to wait like 3 hours. And like the walk-in ceremony for my prom was streamed on YouTube to like hundreds of people every year. And people would literally roll up with like tanks and like the craziest things, like really old, like fire trucks. Yeah, like literally, like I'll show you guys after, but like the craziest things. And so that's part of the reason why I didn't go. But I also didn't have a date. But that also reminds me, and I was telling Rose this story yesterday, that in like
Rose is Sam's girlfriend for context.
Yeah. My plant Rose. And in 9th grade, I asked my crush to the dance, like the senior dance or whatever, final dance of the year for the 9th graders before high school. And then like she wasn't texting me back. Like we were pretty good friends, or I don't know, we were friends. I don't know about pretty good, but we were friends. And like an hour or two later, I texted her like, oh, sorry, I texted the wrong person because I like bitched out. And she immediately like not even like literally like immediately texted me back like, oh, it's fine.
Damn.
So, and then we were no longer friends after that. I don't think we ever spoke after that interaction. So
fuck.
Yeah, I can't believe it,
so
man.
like yeah, and we're supposed to volunteer together over the summer at some place where her like mom worked or something, but then I fucked up my leg and had to get surgery and was on crutches going into high school, back to that earlier thing.
Oh my.
And so we didn't volunteer together, and so I never fucking spoke to her again.
I can only imagine what it was like from her perspective.
I bitched. I
bet she was so glad she had it out.
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know. Like I really never had any closure to that experience.
And you'll never know.
And like I don't care now. Like I don't feel any way. But that's that same girl that I also like couldn't speak to in 8th grade.
Yeah. I knew completely different people between 8th grade and high school, because the middle school I went to was like other fucking side of the city.
Can I also just add to that story that towards the end of 8th grade, my friend said that he had like kissed her or whatever. He didn't know I had a crush on her, but I remember getting home from school, laying down on the carpet and crying.
Oh fuck,
Dude.
Feel that one.
All I have to say is my experience with all that shit is I just remember choosing people to have crushes on and being like, yeah, sure.
Nah, man. Ever since like 7th grade, like my first middle school class, and I knew her, I was like, wow, she's so nice. And then like it was like from 7th to 9th grade, the build up to that moment, to me just being like, never mind. Like building up the courage to like ask her to the dance and just take it back and then never get any closure and then break my leg and then never get any closure on that either.
Dude,
To never speak to her again.
Hey, it could be worse.
It was awesome.
It could be worse. He could have gotten slapped.
No, I mean, like, I would have rather at least had like the closure, right? But I said no, never mind.
bro, the breaking your leg thing though led into the best intro for one of the best YouTube videos of all time.
Yeah.
Which is now unlisted.
Yeah, when I turn 18, I'll get nudes. Yeah.
Question mark.
Question mark. Yeah. That sounds like a story for next week.
Yeah, you just don't want to talk about it.
No, I honestly, I was thinking about it in the car ride to like the other day, like just driving, and I was like, dude, I have no problem telling that story now. I don't know if it's just because like Rose has like turned me into a person that just doesn't care, like in a good way. Like I'll talk about whatever traumatizing story. I don't care, man. I still have shame. Like I still feel shame for the shameful things that happened, but that is not a shameful thing. That's just a funny, like, oh, I was misled by my friends to believe that I would be getting some pussy pics when I turned 18. As like a congratulations, you're 18. I'm also 18, so here you go. Forgetting the fact that I didn't have any like
completely transactional.
Yeah, exactly. I was led to believe by this kid that it was completely transactional. Because that's from his own experience. He's like, oh, I turned 18 and got all these nudes from girls. I was like, that's awesome, dude. I can't wait until I turn 18 and get some girls. And I remember turning 18 and looking at my phone at midnight on Snapchat, like, dude, where's my nudes? I felt so robbed.
A pussy pixie gonna show up, put them on your phone.
Yeah, and I like expecting them to happen when I had like no like female relationships.
The pooch fairy.
Yeah, on your 18th birthday, under your pillow. Put your phone under your pillow and you'll wake up to bountiful nudes. Yeah. Anyway, we're well over the hour mark now, so.
Oh, are we? Hey, by the way, we never introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome! We're excellent at this.
No, they'll pick up on it. They'll learn our names as we talk to each other.
Why would you introduce yourself or have any sort of introduction or outro?
No, we had an introduction, and we have an outro. This is the outro.
Yep, this is the outro.